Well, basically, I started my artistic formation 8 years ago as a filmmaker. I went to like the leading film school in Israel, Sam Spiegel Film and Television School in Jerusalem. And I kind of like didn't find myself and couldn't speak out of my voice because they had like a very traditional approach, and also because it was hard for me to collaborate. Not because I'm egocentric, just because it's difficult to manage people and it's difficult not to lose your voice, especially as a woman. I feel that in Israel, I don't know in other places, but in Israel, it's quite a machoistic, misogynic industry, and they don't let you hold the camera, they don't let you, the minute you try to touch a grip stand, a dude comes from behind and let me handle that. So it was very difficult for me. So that's why I'm basically been a student for so many years. After I received a diploma from that filmmaking school, after 5 years, because it takes 5 years to finish that diploma, I went for a bachelor degree at the Bezalel Academy of Art and Design, where their approach is much more experimental and it's much more like one-woman show. I think that the whole idea of writing a script and wasting lots of money and making films with high production value and mainly the script, the idea of a narrative that has to have a protagonist, that has to have a beginning, a middle, and the end, and that has to have to be at the length of 100 minutes. I personally think it's quite an old idea. I mean, this whole structure of the narrative hasn't changed since the days of, I don't know how it's called in English, the Poetica of Aristo. And I found that to be a bit silly because things are changing and platforms are changing, and internet is, and it also connects to my film, and the internet also changed our society a lot, and it changed our perspective and our ability to watch things and our thinking, our all mechanism thinking. And in this multiple tab browsers area, I think that traditional cinema might not well represent the spirit of our times, which calls for, going behind this unilateral medium.
Why don't you talk us through your process? Well, let's say now as a filmmaker, because we're talking about your film. Like you said, you don't like scripts, for example. Maybe you don't plan much ahead, but they must still be, you have the idea, you have the inspiration, so how do you go about it,
It's like basically just having an idea or a subject you want to deal with and just starting to collect everything you can. And just trying to, I'm very like intense and what's the word? Hyperactive? How do you say it in English? Hyperactive person. So I just may do a lot of stuff without thinking. Like sometimes your heart or your gut works faster than the mind. You feel like you want to do something. You don't have a rationalization for it yet. But then after doing it, you understand what the rationalization was. So I just collect a lot of things. I document my life. I have these visions. For example, the shot with the boom in my film. It was one of the first things I shot. And I didn't know what I was doing yet. I just had this image in my head, and I knew that there are a lot of significance. That there are a lot of meanings you can put to this image. So I just felt like doing it, and I think it served the film quite well.
Did you ever, or do you ever feel stuck? So you're collecting a lot, right? Do you ever feel stuck? Do you ever feel, I really don't know where I'm going with this, I'm just going to leave it and wait for something to happen?
I shoot and I edit at the same time. And I try to let the materials speak for themselves. And so it's not totally true that I just collect materials without thinking. No, after like 2 or 3 sessions of filming, I do go to the editing room, see what just happened, and try to put the pieces together. And then I shoot some more, and then I edit to what I just edited, and I just continue until I find that this work is ready. But it's never, Borges, I don't know how you call him in English, once said that he publishes books just so we can finish them. So yeah, it helps having a deadline because I think that projects never really end.
There can be a danger of just doing something very personal and then putting it out there without, well, just expecting a response, But yeah, I mean, that's the question I have for you. How much do you think about the audience in the process of making your art? Or do you at all,
Yeah, of course I do. I do. And sometimes I even think about the audience too much. Like, how would they react and what would they think? And what will the Germans think? What will the Jewish people think? What will the Palestinians think? What will the Americans think? And then I get stuck. So I try not to think about it and getting anxiety out of it, but I try to think about it. And yeah, I don't want to I try not to make like this autistic movies. I mean, I'm dealing with myself, but I'm also dealing with like very general and basic and existential subjects. You don't want to hurt anyone, but you do want to criticize certain characteristics inside of society. So it's extremely difficult, and I do my best I can.
So maybe that's the goal, to find that balance of not offending too many people or hurting people, but still having a valid voice.
Or just being clear that you don't want to hurt anyone specifically. You're just trying to question certain ideas.
Would you have any advice for young women, especially in the art world, or who want to become filmmakers?
Just don't give up, because I was about to give up.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. After my first studies at the St. Spiegel Film and Television School, before doing another degree at Bezalel, I left the art world for 1 or 2 years, which is a lot at this age.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I will do something else. So just don't give up. Don't be afraid to say what you want to say. And be aware that a lot of people will not understand your ideas because this society is still governed by men. But just wait, because there will be people who understand your ideas.